So now you know what My Vision Express Patient Communications does and what it is, but you want to see it in action. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Patient communications really only requires 3 steps to set up. The first step being letting the system know when you want your patient communications to send. In order to do that, we're going to go to File, Setup, and Company. From the Company Setup window, we're going to choose the Location tab and specify the times in which we want our communications to be sent. So I just clicked on the Location tab, and down here in the Communication Settings section, I will set the time I want to deliver my messages. I'm going to go ahead and choose, let's say, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and that is the time in which my communications will send. That is going to be any automated emails, voice calls, or text messages. If I have more than one location, I do need to set up the next location. To do that, I'll just go back to Company, select my next location, select the Location tab again, and go ahead and designate the time that I want my communications to be sent. Let's say 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Once I've set all of my times up for my different locations, I will click Save. The system will return a message to me that the changes will take effect after the application is restarted. I will simply click OK to acknowledge, then log off and re-log in to restart the system. That was step 1. Step 2 is telling the system what my messages should say when I send them. To do that, again, I'll go to File, Setup, and this time choose Communications. From here in the Communications window, we see all of the different messages that are available to be sent. You can sort them by any one of these header categories, or alternatively, I can right-click, choose Filter, and filter by type. In this case, I want to look at email messages first. I'm going to select Email and click OK. Here I see only my email message types are displayed, and the first email message type that I want to set up is going to be my layout. I'm going to click Layout and then choose Modify Template. This is going to bring up what we call a What You See is What You Get editor. By we, that's not here at My Vision Express, but a What You See is What You Get editor is what is known across the internet as. And the reason for that is because what you see is what you get. For those of us that are not so well versed in HTML and CSS, I'm going to go over the buttons one by one just to show us what they do. This source button here is going to allow those of us that are really familiar with HTML and CSS to edit the source code directly. Clicking source shows you the source. Clicking it again takes you back to the design mode. This button here will give us a new page. If I click it, it's going to blank everything out and I'll have a blank screen. I can go ahead and print if I want. And then this is going to bring up the different templates that I can choose from. These buttons here are going to be for cut, copy, and paste. You can either paste as is, paste as plain text, or paste from Word. This button allows us to undo our last change, and if we undo, this button will allow us to redo. This button will help us find anything in the document. For example, if I just wanted to find the word the, I would type it in and click find, and it would show me every instance of the word the. This button here is a find and replace. If I wanted to find every instance of the word the and replace it with another word, I would use this button. This is going to be a select all. Clicking on it selects everything in the editable area down below. And this button here is a spell check as you go. If you enable it, whenever there is a word that is misspelled, it will be underlined in red. We can enable and disable this. This button makes everything bold, or whatever the selected text is bold. This one makes it italic, and this one underlines. This is a strike through. Here is a subscript, a superscript, and a remove format. This will insert a numbered list, and this will insert a bulleted list. This button will decrease the indent. This button increases the indent. If we wanted to block quote something, this button would allow us to do this. And this creates a division container. These buttons are your justify buttons. You can align left, center, right, or justify. This inserts or designates the system as having a text direction from left to right, or a text direction from right to left. And this will select our language if you wanted to format your emails in Arabic, French, or Spanish, you would change the language here. This button allows you to create a hyperlink, and if you had created a hyperlink, this button would unlink the hyperlink. You can insert an anchor here, a table, insert a horizontal line. We have smileys, special characters, page breaks for printing. You can insert an iframe. This is how you insert and change your images. Down here we have a selection for formatting your styles. You can format your paragraphs. This selects your font and your font size. This will dictate your text color, your text background color. This maximizes the screen, and this will show you the different blocks. This button allows you to insert a map to to your location using Google Maps. Going back up here, these are our merge fields. This is going to allow you to insert any merge fields that you want. For example, company address, company city, name, etc. Here you can insert links to your social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google, and LinkedIn. If you want to create a custom link button, a link, a request appointment link, a review link, or an unsubscribe link, you have those fields available. It would be impossible for me to go over what every single one of these things do without taking up massive amounts of your time. But if you are interested, it's very easy to Google what you see is what you get. And if anything else, we'll create the template for you if you don't see something here that you can use. But going back to this layout, we have here the layout that is defaulted. If you don't like this particular one with the blue border, clicking on Choose from Template Library will allow you to choose a different color border if you would like. I'm going to go ahead and click Cancel because I do like my blue border. If I wanted to change it, let's say to this purple one, I would click Insert Template and it would just change to this particular template. But again, I'm going to hit Cancel, and I'm going to go ahead and customize this a little bit. For example, I don't want it to say your logo here. I want to go ahead and insert my logo. So I will highlight the logo by clicking on it and then click this image button. Clicking this image button opens up a window so that I can change the image either to a URL if I knew the address of an image I wanted to use, or in this case I'm going to upload. I'm going to go ahead and use a My Vision Express logo, click OK, and there my logo is inserted. Here I have Facebook and Twitter links. I want it to actually point to my Facebook page. I'm going to go ahead and double click on the Facebook icon and just double check that the address is correct, or in your case, insert the correct address. Same thing for Twitter. Go ahead and double click. Make sure that it is pointing to your actual Twitter address and click OK. That's it for our layout. I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. Next, we want to set up a template. I'm just going to go over one template real quickly. Let's just choose, let's say, a birthday template. Clicking on birthday, I see down here that I can set it to active, subject of birthday. The timing is going to be immediate, so this will send on your patient's birthday. On their birthday, they'll receive this email. I'm going to go ahead and click Modify Template. And here I see that there is already a defaulted template. If I click Preview, I'll see what it will look like within my layout. And this is the email that your patients are actually going to receive. I'm going to go back to the editor. If I don't like this one, there are others I can choose from. Here I've got this birthday 1, 2, or 3. Let's say I want birthday 1. I will just click Insert Template, and I see birthday 1 is in here. Go ahead and click Save. This will be what my patient receives on their birthday. We'll take another look at one real quickly. Let's say your patient, you want to send out a recall. For this recall, to make it active, making sure that it will send, you just click Active and then set the timing. If I want my recall notices to go out 1 month before the recall date, I'll just set it as 1 month before. And again, Modify Template brings me to my template, and I see here that this is a default message. I can change it to read however I want. And then I also inserted a button for a request appointment. If I click Preview, I'll see what it will look like when the patient receives the message. And that is how you set up emails. Next, we want to go ahead and customize our text messages. So once again, I'll just right click anywhere on the screen, click filter, and I'm going to filter by text message type. Here I see all of the different text messages that are available to send. We'll go ahead and take a look at this appointment confirmed text message, and this, when we look at the timing, is going to send out immediately upon a confirmed appointment. Making sure that the active checkbox is selected just designates that this text message is going to send whenever a patient confirms their appointment. So I see here that this is a message that it will send. Your appointment on the next date and next time with the company has been confirmed. We have this message here for text stop to end messages. Messaging and data rates may apply. That is just a standard message that is sent at the end of text. If you do not want to include it, we can go ahead and delete it. Once we delete it, we'll see this add stop button appear, and to reinsert that message, we'll just click it and it reinserts the text stop to end messages message. And the reason for that is the FCC does regulate the sending of text messages to consumers, including patients, and they do say that we must let our patients or our customers know how to stop text messages if they wanted them to stop. You do not have to include this on all of your messages, but whenever you can, you should. Clicking on Allow Cancel is going to add a line that says Reply N to cancel the appointment. Of course, this is not going to be appropriate for all of our text messages, especially for this one because they've already confirmed. So deselecting or unselecting the box, rather, is just going to remove that line. And again, you'll just go through each one. For our appointment reminder, we've got it set to send 1 day before, and we have it active. If you don't want this message to be sent, we would just deselect the active checkbox. It will not be sent. Clicking on active does mean that the message is going to be sent 1 day before the patient's appointment time. The message that the patient will receive is their first name. Next appointment at your company is at the date and the time, and then they can stop to end messages. If you would like them to be able to cancel their appointment from the text message, we can go ahead and click Allow Cancel. If your patient were to reply N to this appointment, it would cancel the appointment. And that is how you configure your messages for texting. The last one that we need to set up is voice. So again, just right click anywhere, filter, and we're going to filter this time by voice type. I click OK, and I see here I have 3 voice types that are available to me. I have calendar, I have a contact lens order, and I have a recall. Just clicking this active means that your patient will receive an automated voice call letting them know of their upcoming appointment, that their contact lens supply is running out, or that they should call the office or can be contacted, or they can contact the office by hitting 0 or 1. You also have the option of doing a custom call. Clicking on custom calls will bring you to a window where you can upload any MP3 file that you've recorded. For example, if your address changes, or if you have, let's say for example, a sale coming up on your progressive lenses. You would input your office number here, go ahead and upload your recording. You would hit browse, find the recording wherever it is located. It's going to be looking for an MP3 file. You can listen to the selected audio just to make sure that it is the correct audio that you want. And here is where you're going to insert the phone numbers of who you want to call. For example, if I wanted it to call us here, I would just type that number in. I can push enter and type in a different number. Let's say I wanted it to call, I'm just making up a number here, this particular number, and you can enter in as many numbers as you'd like. Hitting call will start the call process. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and that is how you've designated what to send. The last step is letting the system know who to send these messages to. In order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and close out of our setup communications window. It's going to ask me if I want to save the changes. I will say yes. I'm going to go to patients, and I'll use myself as an example. Here I see my patient profile. Now, when you enable My Vision Express patient communications, all of your patients will have certain settings already. By clicking on communications, what your patients will have rather, is emails. So they are all going to be set to be enabled to receive email messages from you and automated voice calls. Text messages are not going to be enabled, and the reason for that is because the FCC, again, does regulate these things and specifically states that you cannot send text messages to any of your patients unless you have written permission to do so. So before you turn on the ability to send text messages, you do want to make sure that you have received some form of written confirmation saying that they do want to receive text messages from you. Once you have that, you can go ahead and click send, or enable the send text checkbox. Now, if your patient says, well, I do want to receive messages, but I don't want to receive, let's say, promotional emails, you can unselect promotions, and any email or text message that is designated as promotional will be unchecked. I'm going to go ahead and re-enable it, and that is all you have to do for each of your patients. And in fact, you do not have to do this at all for each of your patients until you receive written confirmation from them saying that they do want to receive text messages, in which case you would just go to their patient profile, click on communications, and enable text messaging by selecting the send text box. That is how you designate who receives your messages. Let's take a look at some additional features that Patient Communications offers. Since I'm already here on my patient screen, my patient profile screen, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to send what we refer to as a one-off message or a one-time message. Let's say my patient did confirm their appointment and said that they were coming, but they're running a little bit late. I've tried calling them. Now I'm going to go ahead and send them a text message to see if they still are coming. I can go ahead and click this little text message icon in the patient's profile and send them a little one-off message. For example, I can say, hey, are you on your way? I would type it here and then go ahead and click send. I'll receive a confirmation saying that the message was delivered. And in fact, I have just received it on my phone. If I were to respond, I would get a communication up here in this text message icon. I would get a little red ball that said, indicating that I had a new text message. I could then go ahead and read it. Here I responded, yes, sorry, be there in 15. And I can reply to this message by clicking reply and reply to them, okay, see you here. Or I don't have to respond at all. I can go ahead and just exit out and see that it's there. When a patient does respond, it is saved in their interactions. If I click here on interactions, I'll see that the patient has responded, yes, sorry, be here in 15. I also see it when I click the patient icon. Once again, it says here when they responded, yes, sorry, be there in 15. So the system does track all of these messages. Now that is how you send a one-off message to your patient. Let's say you want to send a group of text messages to your patients. Again, I'm going to use the example of, let's say I'm having a sale on progressive lenses. I can go ahead and click File and Letters, and from the Letters search all of my patients that I want to send this message to. Let's say I'm just going to search for everybody. And then once I have found all of my search results, they'll appear here. I'm going to click Send SMS, and I'm just going to send a test message out. In your case, you would actually send a message, for example, come in today, sale on progressive lenses through, the end of the year. You do want to designate it as a promotion. Go ahead and click Send. It is going to tell you everybody who is unable to receive the message and why. For example, some of our patients are under the age of 13. Now, again, laws regulate that we cannot communicate promotional emails or actually have any type of communication with patients who are under the age of 13. So it's not going to send to anybody under the age of 13. And we see here this patient has opted out of text messages, so they won't receive it. Anybody that does not appear on this error list has received this test message, myself included. Once I've sent it, I can go ahead and X out of there. That is how I send a mass text message to my patients. I am also able to send a mass email to all of my patients. To do that, I go to File, Setup, Communications. Again, I'm going to filter by by email by right-clicking, selecting Filter, and choosing Email. And here I see this custom email. Now the custom email will send to everybody who is set up to receive email messages in the system. And that's going to be all of your patients except for the ones who are under the age of 13. I will set a timing for it. So for example, if I wanted this to send on November 1st, letting everybody know that we're having a November sale, I would set it for November 1st. On November 1st, it is going to go ahead and send to everybody. What I want it to send will be designated by what I have in the template. So I click Modify Template, and I can make this look however I want to. Save it, and then come November 1st, everybody will receive this email message. And that concludes how to set up and use patient communications. If you have any further questions or need any further guidance on how to use it, you can reach us on Support Central by visiting support.myvisionexpress.com and clicking Live Online Support to chat with us during business hours, which is 7:30 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. You can also call us at 844-450-HELP, again during business hours. Or you can access the knowledge base by clicking knowledge base. You'll see a list here, clicking on patient communications, and it will address your most commonly asked or frequently asked questions regarding patient communications. You can also email us at support@myvisionexpress.com. Again, that's support@myvisionexpress.com. And before I close out, I just want to show you what these email messages look like when we receive them. For example, I missed an appointment. This is what appears in my email here, that I missed an appointment. I can call, or you could add, for example, a box to make an appointment here in your template. I'll show you another one. Here I have my appointment is today. This was an email that I received before my hypothetical appointment, just reminding me that my appointment is today to bring my photo ID, insurance cards, etc. And also, just so that you know what a text message looks like, this is a text message that I received from the system letting me know that I have an appointment on 10/20 at 10:30 a.m. And also pulling up an email from my phone, I took a screenshot of that. This is what an email would look like if I were to access it from my phone. So again, that is patient communications with MyVision Express. If you do have any further questions, you can again reach us by live chatting, calling us at 844-450-HELP, or sending an email to support@myvisionexpress.com.